Hello everybody, William the Bastard here. What I'm doing right now is making a antidote, like a mental antidote. You gotta understand, most times we're able to overcome the effects of voice-to-skull frequency and remote neural monitoring is through a process known as mental override. However, it's not always easy to do that. Sometimes we need things to kind of give us a little push. It's not that there is nothing that is not effective against these sort of things, but microwave energy and other things can be a little bit overcoming. There are things that I have found personally that make it better, and this recipe is one of them. Do I know how this works exactly? I know green tea's an antioxidant. I know that there's medicinal properties with the other stuff I use, but I'm not sure exactly how this works to bring me relief, except to tell you that it seems to have some effect. If you'd like to come over here and take a look at what I got in here, I got 3 bags of green tea. Now, the reason I have such an amount just for myself is because I'm tripling up on the medicinal properties of the green tea. Okay? Our first ingredient is garlic powder. Now, garlic powder is pretty potent stuff. You don't want to use a bunch of this, but you want to use just enough to actually get some of the medicinal property of the garlic in there. It's pretty much whole garlic dried up. Okay? Next is parsley flakes. Okay? You don't want to use a bunch of this stuff. Just a little. I'm not sure what it is, like I said, that makes this work. It just seems to have an effect, and maybe it'll work the same for you. So, okay, next, chives. We add a little bit more chives, okay? Now, as you can see, I don't have any measurement per se properties. This is measurement by the cup. By the cup is what this is measured out to be. This is basically what you see the amounts, or the what I would use for 1 cup of this tonic. It's kind of like the old hot toddies from back in the day, if you think about it, that you know, our great-grandparents or whatever have you used to make. Now, I use a little bit of cinnamon sugar here, and also some raw cinnamon and just a slight bit of nutmeg. This is not going to taste good, okay? This tonic does not taste good. I do this for the effects, okay? I don't overdo the cinnamon sugar. If I need to sweeten it up, what I do is I'll add just a little bit of sugar, not too much, to make it more palatable to get down. Now, for the raw cinnamon, and a little bit of ginger, a little bit of ground ginger. Like I said, this isn't the most pleasant thing to wolf down, but try it. I'm serious. Once I did this tonic, the last time I did it, I've been getting a heck of a lot of frequency right now, but once I did this tonic, it seemed to improve it for weeks. I really had a lot of serious improvements. And of course, like I said, the mental aspect of it, you know, like tinfoil hats. Basically, a lot of the stuff they try to sell us TIs, online and otherwise, these warehouses, is basically gimmicks And if anything, it serves a purpose, maybe in some cases to make us look a little bit less believable and a little bit more stupid, kind of to incriminate us a little further. I mean, you hear about somebody sleeping in a tinfoil hat, generally you're going to be like, damn, that dude's far out, or that chick's far out. But that's why I shy away from those more traditional answers. And I try a little bit of experimentation, and it just so happened that this was what worked for me. Now we're going to add the lemon juice, okay? You want to add a liberal amount of lemon juice, okay? Don't be shy with it. Here's our nutmeg. And lastly, that's why sugar isn't that necessary for this. We use a little bit of honey. Just a pinch. We don't kill it. Okay, now I kind of lied. There are 2 more ingredients. Here we go. This is straight whiskey. We don't want to use this whole amount for 1 cup. We do want the element to be in there. So this is what I suggest. Maybe not even that much. I may have overdid it a little bit. In fact, I know I did. More like up to here. So just remember that. And lastly, we go ahead, rotate our tea bags around in our saucepan. Okay, and then you give it a stir. And this is how I have effectively quieted down voice to skull frequency and actually promoted more clarity of thought, believe it or not. Despite the alcoholic content, it's not overdone. And the purpose of this is not to derive a buzz from alcohol. This is a tonic. So I would say enjoy, but you probably won't. But trust me, give it a shot. If it doesn't work, hey, try something else. Be creative, because who knows what we're going to come up with. We just got to keep working at it. Thanks, everybody. William the Bastard. The red light was still on? Yes, it was. Hey everyone, I gotta tell you, don't change anything the way you've seen it in the tonic. Definitely effective, just the way it is. The right amount of everything. I feel like 50% better already, and I've only ingested it less than 8 minutes ago. Also, another thing about it, you don't have to drink the nasty stuff at the bottom. It's a little bit tart. So just as long as you get the medicinal properties of the tonic, it seems to be effective. If you're under a heavy attack is when to do it. That's when you can tell the most difference. I want to talk a little bit about limitations in regards to my own local harassment. Local harassment can be an amplifier for remote harassment, okay? Like voice to skull frequency attacks, microwave frequency, etc. The problem is that when you are under a lease agreement, when you're a renter, or you do not own your own property, it's very hard to infiltrate your walls without getting yourself charged with property damage. If I could infiltrate my walls, I would be able to expose the evidence of my harassment going on in my own home. However, I would be under legal property damaging charges if I did anything to damage my apartment. This presents a problem and a dilemma. Another one of my limitations in regards to this is the fact that they made claims to be various powerful local agencies. They'll make all kinds of claims. One of those is the hospital. They claim to be that hospital right there, Brown County General. They also claim to be involved in air evac, and they say they have a couple rogue officers involved in like gang stalk or local political politicians and whatnot. I'm not sure to the credibility of those claims, but it definitely makes you wonder when you call the local police department and they totally disregard any noise harassment that you may have to report and pretty much imply you're crazy. So it'll put the brakes on you exposing your harassers when these circumstances are prevalent. It'll definitely scare the shit out of you. You don't know who's involved. You know what's going on is criminal, and you know you're being treated in a criminal manner. But that doesn't mean that agencies of law enforcement or the local and governments, in fact, that's one of the number one local things, number one things that get people targeted is offending the national or local governments. So, I mean, I'm pretty scared, to get too in depth about some of the claims because I don't know about the credibility. They have a total lack of credibility. They could be saying who they are, might really be who they are, but I'm unaware of that because their lack of credibility and the variety of things they say, including changing up of identity that they constantly do to targets. So be very slow to point fingers and accuse, even if you're pretty damn sure you have reason to suspect certain claims they've made. Be 100% absolutely positively sure before you lash out and do something rash. That's exactly what they want you to do. Okay. Voice to skull psych outs. I gotta say, man, maybe worse than any local psych outs that have been implemented in the past. And so, you're talking about frequency, voice to skull, EMF, microwave energy going directly into your brain. And along with remote neural monitoring, which allows these people impulse signaling, which can incite your anger, increase your anger, or make you look ridiculous, increase your humor, affect your behavior with remote neural monitoring. Your outward behavior can then be recorded, as I've stated in the past, and be used to discredit you and implicate that you are mentally deranged or deficient and that you don't have your scruples enough about you to actually recognize reality. This is absolutely ridiculous. This stuff is real. It's so fucking real. It's being used every fucking day. I don't know why people are in such denial about it. You can buy this stuff yourself and start messing with somebody right now today if you were a low enough charactered individual to do that. People will eventually catch on. is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that, we're not that stupid. They have an ability through remote neural monitoring to do installation. They can make you nervous, make you seem like you're paranoid, make you seem like you're scared, worried, feel guilty about something, when you totally aren't in the natural sense of the word. But they can synthesize that through the remote neural monitoring that they do. It sucks that these things have to be going on. It really does. But the best advice I can give you is fight. Mental overriding. Great counter psych tactic. The tonic that I gave you, I can't express its effectiveness. Right now, I'm not hearing hardly anything. And I was getting some pretty intense frequency harassment, voice to skull earlier. I mean, within less than 8 minutes, I felt a difference. So, give it a shot, see how it works for you. Give me some